So let's begin the part 2 of module 2. So the topics in this part 2 of module 2 are you're going to study about dictionaries, structuring the data, what is a dictionary data type, we will see pretty printing, we'll see about the methods we use in dictionary data types, and we will see some programs like pretty printing and also write some programs which models the real world things. In this session we will be discussing about dictionaries and what is actually a dictionary, how can dictionaries be used to structure the data, what are the differences between dictionaries and versus lists, and let's write a simple program using dictionary. So first of all, let's learn what's a dictionary. So dictionary is a data type which provides a flexible way to access and organize data. So like lists, even dictionaries are mutable collection of many values. Previous sessions we have seen tuples, we saw lists, and this is a third type of data type which we are seeing, that is a dictionary. Even dictionaries are mutable like list. But the main difference between list and dictionary is this is more organized. It provides us a more flexible and a more organized way of accessing the data. So far we have seen in list that we were accessing the items of a list using the indexes. If I want to access the items of a list, say from the left hand side, it used to start from the index 0, 1, 2, 3. Or I could access the items of the list from the right hand side, -1, -2, -3, like that. But dictionaries you cannot access like using integers. Instead, the items of a dictionaries can be accessed using keys, and every key will have a corresponding or associated value. So that means the dictionary items can be accessed using key value pairs. And one more very easy way of differentiating a list and a dictionary is lists are enclosed within square brackets, whereas dictionary is enclosed within braces. So let's create a simple dictionary. See, my cat is a dictionary in which you can see this is the first item, this is the second item, this is the third item. Every item you can see will have two things separated by a colon. The first one is actually the key of that item, and every key will have a corresponding value. So let's see here, cat, let's say it has three features: size, color, and disposition. So we are using these three features as a key value. And the size is fat, so fat here is a value. The color is gray, so gray is actually the value. Disposition is loud, so loud is actually the value. So that's why every dictionary can be accessed by the key value pair. So how do you access a value? Suppose I want to access the values in this dictionary, then I can use it, access it using the key. What do I have to do is, I just have to write the name of the dictionary, and within the square brackets I have to write the key value. In our case, our key is actually a string. That's why I'm enclosing it within a single quotes. So when I say my cat size, it will display fat as the value. Or I can use this in a string concatenation also. What I've done here is my cat has, plus here is a string concatenation. My cat of color is gray, and it is a string, so this is anyway a string, and again use string concatenation fur. So the output would be my cat has gray fur. So it's not necessary that the key has to be some string. It can also be an integer like list. Okay, but there is no rule that the integer has to start from 0. Unlike in list. In list, always the items index used to start from 0. We do not have anything like that. It can have any number. Like this example which you see here. Yes, spam is a dictionary where this is the key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the key. 42 is the key. And luggage combination is a value for this key, and the answer is a value for the key 42. So let's see the difference between lists and dictionaries. So lists are a ordered collection of items, whereas as we already saw, dictionaries are unordered. They don't have to be sequenced. In the sense, list, the first item in a list would start from 0. Right, the index would be 0. The first item, if I have a list called as spam, the first item can be accessed by saying spam of 0, like this, within square brackets. But there is no first item like that in a dictionary. It is not ordered. There is no sequence. That's why list is here the data is stored in a linear fashion, whereas in dictionary the data is actually stored in a key value pairs, as we just saw. So if I want to access and manipulate data in a list, I have to use the index, which we have seen in previous sessions. But if I have to access the data in dictionary, I have to use the key. And we saw that in previous sessions lists can have duplicate elements. You can have elements with the same values, no problem. But in dictionary we have two things, keys and values. Key has to be unique, but the values can be duplicated. So list, you can have faster access if it is based on the index, but dictionaries will give you faster access based upon the key. And in also last few sessions we saw that we can do slicing in list. I can extract a part of the list. Why I can do it? Because it is ordered just by giving the index, right? Let's say spam of 3:7, I can take a part of the list. But in dictionaries you can't do slicing because they're not ordered. So that's why lists have very less data organization, we can say, as compared to dictionaries, whereas dictionaries allows you to organize your data in more powerful ways. So coming to see with the examples, you can give this example. The first one, this is the list. How did I identify? Very easy. If it is enclosed between square brackets, it's a list. The second one is actually a dictionary because it is enclosed within braces. So what are we doing in the first example? I've created a list called as spam, which is having 3 values: cats, dogs, moose. Bacon is also another list having the same values, but it is not in the same order. So if I try to check the equality between the spam and bacon, the equality operation will be false because it will compare. Is first item is equal to first item? No. So then itself it fails. But if I do the same thing with dictionaries, it will not fail because it is comparing with respect to the keys. It is checking, is the name in eggs equal to name in ham? Yes, it is Zophie. Is the species in eggs equal to species in ham? It is same. Is the age in eggs equal to age in ham? Yes, it is same, and therefore it is true. Okay, so that means what? In list it is checking in a sequence, but in the dictionaries it is checking by values, by the keys. Now let's suppose you have a question. I am trying to access a key which does not exist in the dictionary, then definitely it will give you an error, right? So let's say I go to the ideally screen, I create a dictionary. Let's say I create a dictionary like this. Let's say the language is Python. Then I say level is easy. Okay, now display this dictionary. Now let's say I access the one of the values using the keys. So it displays the corresponding value. But suppose I try to access using a key which doesn't exist. Suppose I say the key value is, let's say, version. So it will give you an error saying that key error because that key does not exist in the dictionary. Okay, now let's try to see a program here. We'll see a simple program where I try to store the data of your friend's birthday using the dictionaries. Okay, so write a simple program to store the data of your friend's birthday using the dictionaries, and the dictionary will have two things. Names would be used as the keys and the birthday will be used as the value. Okay, so let's go to the MU editor to see the program. So we are creating the dictionary here. As I said, the name would be the key and the birthday would be the value. So let's say I've created a dictionary here for 3 people, Alice, Bob and Carol, with corresponding birthday values. Now I'm creating my program within a true loop because I want this loop to continuously execute as long as the user does not give any input. So what input we are asking for the user? We are asking him to enter the name, right? And if he doesn't give any name, we just press enter, then it comes out of the loop. Suppose he gives a name, and he gives a name which is already existing in the dictionary. Suppose you give Alice. So it will check here. If Alice in birthdays, we have seen about in and not in operations in list. The same thing we have here also. So let's say if Alice is given, Alice in birthdays, yes, this if condition is true. So then it will print. What does it print? Birthdays of name. What is name? Alice. So you are trying to access the, what are we doing here? We are trying to access a value in the dictionary. I'm trying to access a value of the dictionary but through the key called as name, right? So what is the name here? Alice. So birthdays of Alice, it will come here. Alice is here. So what would come, what would be printed in this screen, in this place? April 1st. String concatenation, April 1st is the birthday of name. What is the name? Name whatever is given by the user, Alice. So it will say April 1st is the birthday of Alice. Else. So that means if suppose a user does not give a name which is not present here, then what happens? It displays on the screen, I do not have the birthday information for whatever person you have given, and it is asking what is the birthday, and whatever input you give, in this case here I am giving the birthday date, that will go to B day. So what it is doing here, it is updating the dictionary here. You can see in this line what we are doing, birthdays of name, whatever new name was given, so there I am updating the value. So what is happening in this line? You are updating the value for the corresponding key, and finally you are printing that the birthday date is updated. So let's execute this. So let's say I give a name which is already existing, then it is saying, it is searching birthdays of name, that is it comes here April 1st is the birthday of Alice. Now suppose I give a name which is not there in the dictionary, it is asking us what is a birthday. So let's say I give December 23rd. So then what it is doing, it is updating your birthday here, right? It is updating your database and it is saying birthday database is updated. This is a very simple program. We are not displaying here what happens in the database behind, but suppose now I enter a name which is, I just press enter, then what happens? Since I pressed enter, you gave a space here, the break statement gets executed and you are out of the loop. So this is a very simple program where you are showing how I am creating the dictionary and how I am accessing the values of the dictionary, right? I access the values of the dictionary using the key, birthdays of name, right? And I also demonstrated the usage of in operator here. So let's see in and not in operations again. It works in the same way like how we had in list, right? The operation remains the same. So here we are creating a dictionary here called as spam with name as Zophie and age as 7. So suppose I want to check name, is it, I'm checking whether it is there in spam.keys. What is spam.keys? It will show, it will have two things, name and age. So let's see this in the screen. That will give you a better idea. So let's say I create, we'll take the same example, spam is equal to language is Python. So this is the first data we have created, and then we give level easy. Okay, so this is the dictionary that we have created. Now suppose I want to see what are the spam dot keys. You just have to just press this spam dot keys and then press this open and close brackets. See, it is giving us these are the keys, language and level, right? If I want to see what are the values, just do this. See, these are the values. Now if I want to check whether a key exists or presents or not in this dictionary, so then what do I do is, suppose I want to check is a name is a key in this spam.keys. So just say in name in spam.keys and give the opening and closing. It's saying false, it is not a key. Why? Because we don't have name here, we have lang, right? Lang is a key. Yes, it is giving us true. Can I check the values? Yes, I can also check the values. Let's say easy, is it a value? Or let's make it demonstrate not in now. Spam dot values. So what should you say? Easy, not in values. It should give false because easy is actually present here. So the answer should be false. So that means easy is present. So we are just demonstrating here in and not in operation, just like how we had in list. I am just checking whether a key is present in the dictionary or whether a particular value is present in the dictionary or not. So that's it. So just to quickly revise, what we saw in this session is we just had an introduction of what is a dictionary. Dictionary is a organized way of storing the data. It's a mutable collection like list. The only thing is you access the items using key value pairs, and it's enclosed within flower brackets or braces. So it has two things, key and a value. If you want to access a value, just use the keys within the square brackets. And we went through the differences between dictionaries versus lists. The main difference to recollect is list is ordered, dictionaries are unordered. And we saw that how we can what's the difference between list and a dictionary, even through examples. And we also saw out of range index error operator. If the key is not present, then how it gives us an error. And we saw a simple program where we saw how we could create a dictionary, and we saw how you can use in operator to check a particular condition, of to check whether a name or a value or a key is present or not in the dictionary. And finally, we concluded this session with usage of in and not in operations. So the next session we will discuss about different methods in dictionaries like keys, values, items, set default and get function. Thank you.